Hey everybody, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time, we went through the ancient castle of Icona, did battle with Icona's old king, Egos to Icona. I know that my pronunciation of Icona sounds really bad when used with his name especially, but I'm sticking to it. I like the pronunciation, okay? Anyway, at the end, we climbed all the way up to the top of the stone tower, where the temple now lies ahead. This time, to begin, I have once again gone and done some stuff off camera right before beginning, so let me show you. I bought 2 green potions from the Clocktown store, because Kotake was no longer available in the potion shop down south because it's too far along in the cycle, and I also decided to get some spring water. My reason for doing this is I do recommend getting at least 1 green potion and saving it for the end of the dungeon. You're gonna see why. As for the spring water, you'll see. There's something really weird you can do with it, and I really want to show it off. So, as you can see, though, in order to enter the temple, we will once again need to press these 3 switches, cause the blocks to put in place, and jump across them with the Elegy of Emptiness all over again for the 3rd time in a row now. You're probably pretty bored of this by now, and so am I, so let me show you a little trick. You step on this leftmost button. Never mind, that's not the right one. You want to step on the rightmost button instead. Yes, we really need to watch the block go back in place. Okay, the rightmost button will bring that block all the way up to the edge. So what you want to do is, as normal, press this button, play Elegy of Emptiness. There we go, switch is held down now. And then, instead of pressing the other 2 switches and swapping out the masks, you can jump on this block and then play the Elegy of Emptiness again, while making sure to stay in the same form. If you do this, the statue will move off the button, which will depress it, and the block will move back over to the other side, carrying you with it. You'll also confuse the game and make the game think you're over there still by the camera. That is such a nice little trick to get across that gap without having to swap out masks or anything. It does only save you 1 play of the Elegy of Emptiness, but it's still better than all 3, in my opinion. Okay. Before I start complaining all over again, all the negative stuff I have to say about Icona Canyon is done and over with. We are now on to the best part of this area. Welcome to our 4th and final temple. Ooh, that blue looks so nice. We start off with a couple of dragonflies and a real bombchu. Not the most threatening enemies in the world. I mean, the real bombchu is annoying, but that's about it, really. I think you also saw the eye switch in the intro there. Are you gonna... Yep, there you are. Good thing I waited. Probably respawn if you work like all the others, so I'm gonna move a little bit quick. Hi, is that a sun at the base of those pillars? I never noticed those before. Since I'm not so pressured for time in this video, I will be taking my time a little more in the dungeon, rather than rushing through it like I did with Snowhead and Great Bay. Looking back, I feel kind of bad for that, about that, but hey, it's how I had to do things. Okay, you're locked. That's a sun switch. We unfortunately don't have any way to light it up. Weirdly, it's upside down. I don't know why. Okay. Now, if we take a look up there... hi, sir. I see your eyes covered in a little gunk. You mind if I clear it for you? Ah, he did not mind at all. He even gave me a reward for it. All right, I'll accept your payment. The cost will be about 1 straight fairy. Thank you, sir. All right, here's our yellow straight fairies. First one, there's 15 of them, as usual. I think they're spread out a lot throughout this dungeon. You will not be finding them as frequently as you will be in the earlier dungeons. I don't know why that pot was empty. Usually pots aren't empty. That's very strange. 0007. I have 007 rupees right now. Oh yeah, the other thing I did off camera is I went to deposit my rupees so that I could actually, you know, collect rupees and have them matter in this dungeon. I think that would be really cool. Okay, so we have this giant sunblock in our way. No light to be able to get rid of it with the help of our mirror shield. But wait. The sun's made of, like, fire, right? I know it's not really fire. It's like plasma, whatever. I don't know what exactly the sun's made of, but maybe water will have an effect and it'll clear it out of the way for us? Yep! I have no idea why this happens, but splashing this sunblock with spring water will remove it. I don't know if this is the case for any other sunblock in the game. I should probably test before I go more into this, but I watched a YouTube channel that went over various fun facts about this game, and this was one of them, that this sunblock can be removed with a bottle of spring water for some reason. It's really funny. I don't know why this is. It's probably unintended behavior if I had to guess, but again, I should test more about it. I should test more with it, see if it actually continues to happen with other sunblocks or what. But yeah, now you can kind of skip a section of the dungeon a little bit. There's a small key door over there. We probably need a key from the other wing if I had to guess, but at least we can access this chest early. If I had to guess, this is the compass. I think you find this one second. Yeah, it's the compass. Usually you get the dungeon map first, but we're getting it out of order this time. Look at those freaking squares in the corner of the screen there. They look very strange. Anyway, yeah, I will not be progressing that way, even as fun as that skip is to do, as funny as it is. I will not be skipping the dungeon that way. We will be progressing as normal. I just wanted to show that you can do that because it's really funny. It could add a nice mix-up to your latest playthrough. That's one thing I love about games like this, is that there are so many differences, so many different ways of playing them. Okay, I'm guessing I can't access this yet. It's probably what that sun switch unlocks, so yeah. There are so many different ways of playing these games that, like, you can really mix up subsequent playthroughs. Like, let me try this route this time. Let me try clearing stuff in this order this time. And I think that's true with Majora's Mask over really any of those old Zelda games where a lot of the side quests were just kind of set in stone. Here, it's pretty open-ended due to the, like, 3-day time mechanic. Okay, I'm trying to, where is this? Where is this bomb? Is he on the ceiling? Oh, he is. Well, that's not very smart of you. I don't know what you're doing up there. All right, this room is absolutely crawling with these forkers. Get them out of here. All right, I said forkers instead of the usual fuckers. And then I said the usual fuckers right after, so I guess it didn't really mean anything in the end. This wall is cracked. Bet you can't guess what we do with those. We blow them up with a powder keg. Close. It's bombs. You know, as if you thought that blowing things up with a powder keg was necessary. Strangely, this dungeon likes to do this a lot, and I really don't get it. There's treasure chests on the ceiling, and I believe you can hookshot up to those, and that's basically their only use, but you can't actually open them. At least not from the ground. Yeah, the hookshot doesn't pull it open. It's very strange. I don't know why this dungeon does that, but there's a lot of chests that you just can't access because they're on the ceiling. I don't really get it. All right, press the switch down. Yep, that's words. You'll see it has to be held down. I bet you can't guess what we're supposed to do here for the 4th time. It's getting a little old now, guys. This game was made in 18 months, and this was probably the last area developed. I can't give them too much flack for it. It does feel that way, though. A lot of Icona Canyon is padded. It does really feel that way. Perhaps unintentionally here with the long cutscenes of watching the statues move into place, but I mean, like, the way that Icona Castle makes you climb up the entire left wing again if you mess up even once, the way that Stone Tower's climbing has you play Elegy of Emptiness every 2 seconds, to do the same exact block puzzle, they do it 3 times and it barely changes any of the 3 times. And then you do it again inside the actual temple. It just feels like Icona Canyon, they didn't have any interesting ideas for, like, true challenging gameplay, so they just made the areas take so long to get through. Oh yeah, and Beneath the Well taking so long to get through, just by default, by the fact that you have no idea what the Gibdo are gonna want until you talk to each one of them. Yeah, Icona Canyon is a little bit padded, in my opinion, but that's okay. And like I said, this dungeon's fantastic, so overall, I really don't mind that we have to play Elegy of Emptiness here. I suppose I could talk a little bit more about the dungeon and why I like it so much. I really like its aesthetic, this like ancient stone area that's open to the sky, so you can actually, like, the lighting of this place does change from day to nighttime. It's very blue right now, but that's only because it's nighttime. During the day, it's quite like brown and sepia looking, and it's a really cool aesthetic. I think the Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild remind me a lot of this place. They are similarly like ancient brown structures, and the dungeons are all open to the sky. And I feel like that may have not been taken from Stone Tower Temple aesthetics exactly, but it reminded me a lot of this place. And so I did like the Divine Beast aesthetics because of that. Can I shoot you through the door? It would be really nice. Unfortunately, I doubt. Yeah, this is a solid wall. As you can see. Oh, at least I can shoot from here. There we go. There we go. That actually solved my problems. Yeah, I'm trying to free aim, and free aim does not work well. So you can see this last switch. Yeah, we need to keep this held down too, but we've used up all of the possible statues, and there's nowhere to hook shot, so What are we supposed to do here exactly? Well, you may have noticed that I somewhat subtly kept these boxes unbroken in the other room. If you break these boxes, which you can do, you will have to leave this room and re-enter to get them back. And then you will have to play the Elegy of Emptiness 3 times again. So make sure not to break these boxes. My number one tip from me to you with this dungeon. Yeah, you have to place it down on the last one. It's cube and button-based testing, just like the Portal games. Sounds like there's Gwaze above. Okay, there he is. He's flying straight at me. Oh, God, get him out of here. Oh, God! Oh, my God! That actually kind of scared me, not gonna lie. It's just a freaking Gway, man. Alright, there's magic jars. There's a locked door over there. Another reason why I love this dungeon so much is, again, this music. I already explained why I like it last time. I could probably explain it using better terminology of how it does feel very suitably late game for a game as grim as Majora's Mask, as grim and kind of dark. It's like, you know, this is the last push to reach the end, the push to get the last giant so we can stop this moon from saving the world once and for all, but, like, you're also reflecting on your journey at the same time. That's always what this song feels like to me, and I would like to talk a little bit more about, like, the vibe this place gets and how it reminds me a lot of how tragic of a character this Link is, but I'll get more into it later. For now, we have new things to go over. First of all, I bombed that up there and didn't acknowledge it at all. That provides light down in this room, which you can then use, redirect it into that sunblock to get rid of it. And now, it's the game's second ever appearance of lava. If you remember, I believe Zora Link will probably die instantly, and so will Deku Link. Will they? Okay, yes. Zora and Deku Link are very, very weak to fire. Do not do that. Actually, I didn't take any damage. That's interesting. Then we have these guys. So we can grab them and push them, or not. Okay, can I grab and pull them? Yeah, these statues can be moved around. At least they're supposed to be. I don't know. I don't know if they feel like doing it right now, but they should be able to be moved around. Okay, anyway, yeah, you just have to go into Goron form and then cross through the lava like this. So you can get the, presumably, small key at the end. Oh no, it's the dungeon map, okay. It's because, there is a locked door out there, so I feel like you get a small key here. I'm pretty sure you do. Dungeon map! Press start to look at the map. Wow, isn't that crazy? Pressing start to open up the map menu and look at the map. This floor... Sorry, this dungeon strangely only has 2 floors despite its, like, final status. It's really not that big of a place. The first floor is pretty big, though. The basement, though, not so much. I wonder why that is. Like, the temple is a lot smaller than you would expect from a final temple. Anyway, though, we have only 1 of 15 stray fairies. Yeah, we got a long way to go here. Alright, well, that seems to be it down here. Anything else we could do with you guys? Bah, you're alive! Ah! Alright, new enemy time. This is an Armos. Shh, don't touch it. Blow it up before it wakes, please. That's actually a pretty good idea, but I'm not sure how helpful that is. Let me see. Goron punching, yeah. If you punch them as Goron Link, you'll take them out immediately. And then if you defend during their last-ditch effort to blow you up, you'll be fine. Okay, she said blow it up before... Let me try that. I believe these 2 are real statues. They will not wake up. Can you pull them at least? No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, those 2 at the beginning will never wake up, but the rest of them will. The rest of these are enemies. Will that work? Yes, okay. So yeah, if you place a bomb at their feet, you will blow them up and kill them before they even have a chance to do anything to you. These are a lot harder enemies in the early game, and it makes a lot more sense that they were in the second dungeon of Ocarina of Time, and yet here, it's the first time we're ever seeing them. I think I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Let me just roll away. I sure can! That's satisfying, honestly. We just defend. There we go. Killing all 4 of them will summon a small key chest. So yes, you will have to kill all of them. Pick up the bombs, even though I avoided them so masterfully at the beginning. Alright, grab you. Preferably as Goron Link, because it's inside the lava. You got a small key. You probably can get that small key. Wow, that small key was being, like, forged in that chest. You see that? It was molded from the magma or whatever. You probably can get that as Hylian Link, but you would hurt him very much in the process, and I do not recommend doing that to Hylian Link. Before leaving this room, though, you might think you're done, but actually, there's something a little extra. First of all, a weird tunnel up there that looks like it has upside-down stairs? Like, what is this about? I don't get this. This dungeon likes to do that a lot. Anyway, there's a hookshot target up on the ceiling. It's quite hidden. You'll only see it if you're actually looking around the room. There's a stray fairy up here. That's our second one. The game was about to say that. I did not need to say that. Anyway, I'll just ignore the upside down stairs since I doubt that means much of anything. It's just a weird decoration this dungeon likes to do. Like, look, out here, I think we'll be able to see more of it. I haven't pointed it out yet. Yeah, you can see there's a Deku flower on the ceiling. Like, how are we supposed to get into that one? And there's another one on the other side, and there's like a doorway up there. I don't know, it's some weird kind of decoration that this dungeon uses. My guess is they wanted to like amp up the surrealism a little bit more in the late game before the game was done, or before the fourth and final temple was done. Kind of like how they did so at the beginning, but yeah, it is a little strange. Okay, can't get into you. That's a Beamos in there guarding some rupees. What I can do though is equip the Zora mask and swim around in this water. The dive is honestly a little time wasty, Link. I don't recommend doing that. Come on, chop chop, time to move on. Oh yeah, I never actually tried bombing the Dexy hand down in, where was that? The place thingy. I should probably try that. I think I may have seen someone bomb the Dexy hand and that takes it out so much easier. But still, if you're encountering the Dexy hand underwater, you can't use bombs anyway, so it's not like it makes that big a difference. Hello? I see. You've awoken. You've realized that I exist and you're trying to kill me. Well, you know what? I'm not over there. Don't worry about me. That's for later. I'll be fighting you later. Don't worry. I will explain you. You will not be excluded from the video, because you're a required enemy as far as I'm aware. Another small key. Another one of these. There's a switch inside, though. Can I just throw a bomb in there? If only Zora Link could throw bombs. I don't know why he can't. You're telling me Zora Link is just, like, taller than Link, but every way except he can't throw bombs? Oh, well, that works. That puts a stray fairy chest in the other one. Okay, so I assume the idea is that you make your way into there somehow. However you destroy that sunblock. Maybe we'll unlock the means of doing so as we go. And then you hit the switch with your sword and unlock the other one. Again with this, the button on the ceiling. We've seen this so many times now. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, now this. Recognize this? This is where we just were 5 seconds ago, when we got the sunblock out of the way using the spring water. This is the room where that whole passageway leads to, so now we should be able to take this out properly. Yeah, we have a small key from the pool room. I think you could, yeah, you totally could swim down through that tunnel, get this small key, and unlock this door, and continue down this wing of the dungeon without having to go in that direction at all, which is pretty fun, if I do say so myself. Anyway, the way you are supposed to open this sunblock is stand in this light patch, and then charge that mirror, redirect the light into that mirror. It'll like absorb all the light, and then as soon as you release, it creates a patch of light you can stand inside, and then continue the light redirection into the sunblock, and that's how you destroy it. This only lasts a limited amount of time, though. Tattle has something to say about it. Is this a mirror? This thing looks different from your everyday mirror. Yeah, it's an absorption mirror. Anyway, though, we've already done that, so no need to worry. Ooh, look at that passage in there. That's pretty cool. I say that about everything, but it's true, okay? Everything is pretty cool. Oh god, we have fish in here, and we have stallfish, or whatever they're called, skullfish. I think they're called skullfish. He's coming my direction, but it's okay. We don't have to look at him. Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Did I say he's John? He's gone. Hey, I'm commentating better than I did last time, so even if I am messing up some letter pronunciations, I'm still happy with how this video is turning out so far. You never know, might take a turn for the worse as we go, but we'll have to see. Alright, these incessant yappers down here are more Bio-Dekubabas who are already in the wander around and screech state with their weird eyes, so I'm just gonna kill them with boomerangs because that's what I feel like doing. There we go, okay, that's fine. That went well. Oh, I thought you fought clams in here. I guess you don't? Never mind. Did I actually end up killing any clams in this series then? Oh, that'd be so funny if I didn't. Okay, what I want to do is approach this from the back where there are no mines, step on this, and... Well, that was useful. I can't even use the hookshot underwater. What the hell is that gonna do for me? Just took 2 hits from those accidentally. Another switch on the ceiling, another Deku flower underwater. I don't know if that's very good for those things, but, you know, I'm no expert on plants. Okay, with our small key, I think we could just go in the locked door. Like, there's nothing really to do down here aside from hit that switch. There's a sun switch that is at least oriented normally. We have that on our side, except that there's no way to get light down here yet, anyway. You never know, maybe if light hits the water. The morning has arrived. Now you can see just how brown this dungeon's supposed to be. I know, it's really brown and boring looking. Let's see, I saw that up there. That eye switch up above the Deku flower on the ceiling. Yeah, you see that? The eye switch is upside down too? What is it? Is this just the latest trend? Oh my god, what the fuck? Is this some kind of conspiracy against me? I'm gonna go insane. Alright, break the 2 pots. There's just a bunch of useless crap in this dungeon. Maybe I don't like this dungeon that much after all. Alright, open this. Hello, what's with the face on these blocks? I never actually looked at that too closely before. Hi, okay. What you want to do is, first thing actually, get out Goron. That's not Goron, this is Goron. Get out Goron mask, punch these away. That's what Tattle was gonna say you can do, I'm pretty sure. She can't say it anymore, I'm pretty sure that's what she said you can do though. Then you want to take this off, kill you, and then stone mask. Equip it. You want the stone mask for this room. This room is so much less annoying if you have it, because the black bows will leave you alone. It'll still play the battle music, but that's better than frickin' being hounded by them all the time. Okay, we got 6 sun switches. Count them, 6. And I need to, come on, get the there we go. Oh, I got the right one first try. That one is the only real sun switch. All the others are fake. Let's see what they do. If you were to target. Dawn of the final day. There we go. It just burns away. I don't think anything happens. I think in Ocarina of Time, there were some of those that would burn away, and they would summon a wall master if you did burn them away. But these ones don't do anything, so no need to worry. I'm gonna kill you out of spite, even though there's no reason for me to. You're getting rid of the good music, man. That is one semi-annoying thing about the soundtrack in this game is the battle music. I like the battle music overall. I think it is really cool to have, like, you know, there's an enemy approaching, so play some intense music to go along with it. But, you know, it does tend to interrupt the fantastic soundtracks of these games, and I found that I prefer, like, Elden Ring's approach, where every song in the game, every ambient music in the game has a combat version, where, like, it amps up the percussion a little bit. That I definitely prefer, but especially for an old game, that was really hard to do. All right, I'm trying to chart this mirror up as much as I can, so I have as much time as I need to go over here and correct my aim. Oh, I'm aiming too low. There we go, gotta hit the sun. So, a little fun fact about these sun switches. Wait, is the bow not respawning? Maybe it'll respawn if I go far enough away. Okay, in front of this. Actually, let me take off the stone mask real quick to see. Yeah! So if you're not wearing the stone mask, these guys, the Nezurons, will appear in front of the chest. So if you wear the stone mask, though, they will not appear out of the ground, so you're fine. Where did you go? The fuck? You just completely dodged me. Well, that was like a Dead by Daylight moment. Anyway, the sun switches in the 3DS version look completely different. They no longer have the creepy smiling face. Instead, their face is replaced with an eye. They resemble an eye switch a lot more, and if you activate them, the eye closes, just like a standard eye switch. I don't know why they made this change. They just felt like doing it, I guess. I especially don't know why, because Ocarina of Time 3D, which has sun switches as well, did not make that change. They kept the same face on them, so yeah, I don't really get it, but whatever they felt like doing. Similarly, the sun blocks also go through this change. The suns on them have an open eye, and then when you get the sun blocks out of the way, it briefly closes. I'm maximizing the charge through these 2 mirrors. In the 3DS version, there's also a little thing, like a little mirror shield face above those mirrors that lights up the more you charge the mirrors, so you can have a visual indicator of how much light they have stored within them, which is pretty nice. Yet another nice convenient change the 3DS version adds. 20 rupees, I'll take it. That's actually exciting now that I don't have rupees, now that I don't have max wallet. I think similarly, yeah, there's Nezurons in both of these. Just wear the stone mask, they're fine. The noises the Nezurons make sound like the freaking the heads from Spirited Away. I feel like I remember there being a stray fairy at the end here, but I'm probably misremembering. Let's just keep going. No need to worry. Oh god, this room. Anyway, the Nezurons sound like those 3 heads from Spirited Away. If you've seen that movie, you might know the ones that go, oi, 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 and they bounce around. Okay, actually, before I do this, I actually want to equip the Goron mask. I just closed that. It's not the C button. There we go. Well, that wasn't the C button either. It's actually the X button, but close enough. All right. Yeah, down here, there's a little special something you can do. So this room is like a big, long, curving thing, and at the end, there's a chest enshrouded in flames. A chest containing a stray fairy enshrouded in flames. And if you pound the switch... no, it's a switch in flames. Whatever. If you pound the switch, it'll go dark. So what you want to do then is race to the end. You do not want to be rolling as Goron the entire time, or else you will... Okay. I just barely didn't make it in time. If you roll the entire time as Goron, you will probably bounce off the walls, and that will slow you down. And like you saw there, the timing for this thing is very strict. So you definitely want to get there fast, and you want to mix in some regular walks in there to fine-tune your movement. And then you can roll the rest of the way. So here's attempt number 2. Go! Wanna walk here. Start rolling again. And we should be good. Yes! Okay, once you press that switch, you're fine. It unlocks a stray fairy chest waiting for you at the end of the room. Now all that's left is to actually make it through this room. And I have to say, this room right here is the worst part of the entire dungeon. Okay, maybe aside from one other thing, but no. This is the worst required part of the dungeon, because yeah, this is required and I kinda hate that. Hello, green sky, you look very strange as always. Oh yeah, in the 3DS version, the sky isn't all green on the final day, it's actually like purple up above, and then it's green at the borders. It still looks really strange, and I like it that way. But yeah, it's a little different looking. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that, you know. Alright, so what you need to do is use Deku Link and these Deku Flowers to get through the room. These are air vents. They will push up Deku Link and actually refresh the whole gliding thing. They'll basically set a new home point for Deku Link, so it's basically like you jumped out of a Deku Flower right there on top of the air vent. In fact, you want to watch this? After we get that 5th straight fairy. Yeah, we just go right into gliding if we touch it. That's pretty nice. Unfortunately, the timing of like... oh god, what you have to do here is like get through this entire obstacle course using the help of the air vents, and there's a real bomb shoe on the way, which fucking sucks. And once you turn the correct direction, there we go. I'm not used to the controls for this thing at all. Alright, here we go. Yeah, you have to get through here, you'll probably fall and die. Yep, that's exactly what I thought would happen. Getting through that little hole that the real bomb shoe is guarding is so tight. And also, if you do fall in the lava and die and respawn, as I showed, the real bomb shoe will respawn. Once it blows up, though, it does not respawn. So that's actually really handy. Unfortunately, he is there, and Z targeting makes me go all over the fucking place. So I don't get that. Please. Oh my god, I caught it! Okay, that was pretty lucky. Yeah, I've never been able to get through that part consistently. It's kind of a crapshoot. I kind of don't like it, but hey, I got through it first try here, so you know what? I guess second try, close enough. Oh, he's coming up, isn't he? Yep, he sure is. I got through it second try, so I really can't complain. Okay, we got pots that are probably restocking you, but I'm full on health, so I don't need that. Oh my god, I have SCP-096 rupees. Quick, don't look at the face. Don't look at the rupee counter. He might attack you. 6th stray fairy. That should be as many as you need at this point in the dungeon. Suspicious. I wonder if someone's gonna drop through the hole in the ceiling. Probably not. You're a lot smaller than the enemy I imagined coming through there. This guy is the Garo Master. Can't fight him like an ordinary Garo. Just dodge those swords or block them. I could try doing that too. Alright, so this guy is basically a Garo, but better in every way. He can take more than one hit, for one thing. He no longer gets staggered if you... Okay, there we go. He no longer gets staggered if you block his attack with a shield. What you want to do is dodge. And then he's open. And then he immediately retaliates with an attack that comes out so fast, I honestly don't know how to dodge it. Okay, I did it there, and then I didn't. Never mind. I think you just want to guard, actually. Okay, jump attack. Guard. Yes, okay. Guard immediately as soon as you're done attacking. Ah, fuck. I didn't think you would bound all that way. The regular Garos don't, but that's why this guy is no regular Garo. And that's it. Wow, that went down easier than I thought. Still really fun, though. To think I could be defeated. Although my rival, you are spectacular. I shall take my bow by opening my heart and revealing my wisdom. If you shoot that which releases the sacred golden light into the blood-stained red emblem outside the temple, it shall rearrange things, in which the earth is born in the heavens, and the moon is born on the earth. Do not forget these words. Die I shall, leaving no corpse. That laugh sound is pretty cool. That's such a great way to go out with the dungeon items. I'm so happy that happened. Completely unintentional. Anyway, let's see what our final dungeon item is. And if you base it on what the previous dungeon items were, you could probably guess what it is. You got the light arrows. The light of justice shall target evil. So this means that the 4 main dungeon items in all of the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask dungeons are the bow, fire arrows for the bow, ice arrows for the bow, and light arrows for the bow. I hope you like the bow, because that's what you're using. Every other item, though, still has its place, and it's gotten elsewhere outside of a dungeon, but normally you'd get, like, bombs in a dungeon, you'd probably get the Lens of Truth in a dungeon, or the hookshot in a dungeon. I guess, though, Majora's Mask just doesn't have that many, like, cool, interesting items. I mean, it's really just the bow, the 3 arrow types, hookshot, Lens of Truth, the bottles, and that's really it. I mean, the game was made in 18 months. Do you really expect them to add a bunch of items? Anyway, light arrows are the highest cost magic projectile, I'm pretty sure. I think they cost, what, like 4? Yeah, look at that, MP4. These things are so costly, they're a damn video file. Also, I just want to do this again. This is adorable. Hello, it's me, Link. I got the light arrows from here. Anyway, let's keep going. So these things are not only the most damaging arrow type, but I think they also have another interesting property. If you kill an enemy with them, oh hi, this guy's a hip loop. He has a defensive mask on. Otherwise, it's the same as a hip loop from the swamp. So what we want to do, I'll be able to show off the special property on this guy. What we want to do is hookshot that mask off, then we can attack him as normal. We shoot them with a light arrow. No, okay. So I think what usually happens is if the enemy drops rupees, it drops a ton of rupees if you kill them with light arrows. It drops like 50 each enemy kill. So yeah, this is the main way to make bank in the late game. Okay, there's blue rupees there. There's also a bottom area of this room I want to check out. And then we'll be good to move on. Another function of light arrows is, well, they do carry light inside of them, so this is the very thing we need to activate those sun switches and sunblocks we've been seeing that have no apparent light source. It's not just mirror shield anymore, now you can just use light arrows. I don't know if light arrows could do this in Ocarina of Time. I think their main purpose there was to be like one of the weaknesses of the final boss, and that was pretty much it. Sorry, Fairy, I didn't mean to slice you in half. I hope you'll still heal me. Wow, you were really reluctant to do so. I'm so sorry, Fairy. I will never accidentally swipe at you again. Okay, so with that, honestly, there's not a lot left to do. If I can show this, at the edge of this room, the end, not the edge. I don't know what the edge of this room would be. Oh no, never mind, we're not quite done yet. So we do have you. You're a new enemy. What is your name? I want to say it's like Igor or something. Yes, Igor. Simply attacking it is no good. I say you should pay attention to the subtle changes in its eye. Ah, yes, the subtle changes, such as the entire blue of his eye changing color. You know, subtle changes. Yeah, you just shoot him with light arrows whenever it turns yellow. You hit him with 2 light arrows. Wow, that was pathetic. Hey, at least he looks kind of cool. He smacks the ground, causes rubble. I think if you're close, you get hit. Whatever, right? Here's a straight fairy chest. I believe 7 is the most amount of straight fairies that you should have at this point in the dungeon. If you don't have this much, don't worry about it. It's okay. You'll see what I mean shortly. Anyway, yeah, this door goes back out into the beginning room. Let me just real quick. How? Wow, frame rate. Okay. The explosion was too much. I remember thinking that, like, I remember seeing Doom gameplay and actually thinking that my computer would not be able to run it. I mean, like, classic Doom, not modern Doom. Obviously, my old computer could not run modern Doom. Anyway, I remember seeing classic Doom gameplay and thinking that the weak machines I was using at the time wouldn't be able to run it because, like, the freaking game world lit up every time you shot. That must be terribly high on processing. No, it's not. Doom can run on a fucking potato. I don't know what I was so worried about. It's just, you know, the weird different versions of graphical rendering and how some of them worked really well on that computer I was using and how many of them just didn't. It was probably due to a lack of optimization for some things. All right, let's shoot the upside down sun switch. Ooh, that's creepy. I don't like that. Again, I mean, I guess the upside down switch would get an upside down item and it would also look absolutely terrifying in the process, but yeah, it's still just not that useful. I don't know why this is such a thing. So the Guard Master said something about shooting the red emblem at the door of the place, and if we look at the map, we can see we've actually been in almost every room aside from that one. I don't know how we get there to the rightmost room. Aside from that, we've been everywhere, so I guess this will be our next destination, our next stop, our next thing to do, our next observation. I'm trying to think of many ways to describe the same thing. Yeah, I have to temporarily leave the dungeon. At least it doesn't pause the music, though. So, a little fun fact about this area, these 3 blocks are arranged in a straight line, but only in the North American release of the N64 version, and also only the N64 version. In the Japanese version and the 3DS version, they're arranged in a V shape. Not completely sure what that changes, but I just thought I'd point it out. It's a difference. There's a hand right there pointing to the sky with fire at the end of at the tip of its finger. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, the heavens are up there. I guess we're about to meet the heavens if what the Gara Master said is true. Also, that looks like a lampshade up there at the top. Okay, what you want to do here, not that. You need to find what switch moves the center block away. And it's this one. And that reveals the emblem. You then need to play the Elegy of Emptiness because, you know, at least you only have to play it once to do what we gotta do here. Alright, there's our creepy-looking Link statue. And now, I guess, we shoot this with a light arrow and see what happens. Why not? What could go wrong? Now, this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. If you have time, second, just sit right there. I'll tell you about how I became the prince something. I don't know. I tried anyway. Yeah, here's the gimmick of the dungeon. Shooting that thing flips the entirety of Stone Tower and the temple upside down. Everything makes sense now. Yeah, I was lying earlier. I know exactly why the things are upside down. Interestingly, you can see the Triforce at the bottom of these blocks, and the design of the blocks shows that the faces carved inside of them are actually licking it for some reason. And for some reason, the 3DS version decides to remove the Triforce at the bottom of those blocks. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's a leftover texture from Ocarina of Time and they were never meant to have the Triforce. That's the only explanation I could think of, but otherwise, it's kind of a neat piece of world building that they ended up removing. The fact that Iconic Kingdom may have known about the Triforce is pretty cool. Anyway, here we go. Everything makes so much more sense now. All the stuff on the ceiling, all the doors on the ceiling, the Majora's Mask, like, pattern that you step inside to fight the boss again. It's because we were going to explore the dungeon upside down. And like this, it's basically a brand new dungeon with entirely new rooms. This is another reason why it reminds me of the Divine Beasts, because all of the Divine Beasts involve you manipulating their rotation to solve puzzles. Alright, yeah. There you are, normal rotation, looking a lot better like that. We have a weird-looking guy over there, but no way to reach him, so let's go through this door first. And hi, I've got just the thing to get you out of here. And no, it isn't spring water. It's something far more deadly. Okay, in the next room over, you can see, yeah, this no longer has water inside of it because the ceiling, are they drains? Maybe they're not. Anyway, it's replaced with air vents and you can now fly around as Deku Link. See how these rooms are like completely different to traverse now at this point in the dungeon? This is so cool, man. I love this place so much for this reason alone. I hear a hip loop and he's being annoying and I'm sorry, Link. Is that switch already pressed? Looks like it. I think the chest is probably still spawned. Okay, this air vent should be the highest going one. You want to take this one, ride it all the way up. Drop a Deku Nut on this hip loop's face, or not because the fucking controls suck. There we go. God, it astonished me when I played the 3DS version and like went through Woodfall Temple just how much better the Deku Link gliding controls are. Like I said, the 3DS version's really good. The controls are so much better in that version. But no siree, we can't have that version because, you know, the Zora swimming is slower. And they remove small details all over the game that are admittedly kind of weird that they're gone and did not need to be removed whatsoever. I've actually been going for a surprisingly long time. This has been so fun, I haven't even noticed time passing. Well, this might be a long video, whatever. This is a long dungeon, that's okay with me. Hi, okay, we got a sun switch there, so gotta hit you. Oh, wait, I think I know what this one does. Since it's upside down, yeah, you can only hit it in the upside down temple, and it spawns a stray fairy chest that's right side up, so we're gonna have to go back into the right side up version to get that. That's not my favorite thing about this dungeon, honestly. Like, if you're doing this dungeon any percent and you don't care about the stray fairies, you don't have to switch the dungeon back to normal at all, but if you are going for the stray fairies, you do have to switch the dungeon back to normal. And it's pretty annoying, and I'm not a very big fan of it. What does the switch do? Probably removes that, and since it's blue, that indicates we need to hold it down. Yep, you know where this is going. Time to pull this back out again. I'm tired of playing this. I do like how the music is completely different, though I much prefer the right side up version of the music. This one's cool too. And you know, the fact that it does change with like, and makes everything sound so weird because you're basically going through time and space in a way it's not meant to be, like this is superliminal or something. Oh my god, there we go. Yeah, I like how the music kind of reflects that. Can we, there we go. Don't touch the, no. This Deku gliding controls, I mean, it probably makes more intuitive sense on the N64 controller, but it's like, I'm pressing the analog stick and going the opposite direction of where I want to be. There we go. Okay, open this up. Very desynced audio there for some reason. Ninth straight fairy, very cool. Okay. Let me do this, hold stick forwards. There we go. Managed to avoid taking fall damage. Then in here, this button is now pressable. That spawns a small key chest. That's what I thought. I feel like, you know, we have to get a key to progress, so it has to be one. Here's the Dexy hand no longer inside water. This is the perfect chance for me to test if bombs harm you. Let me just... Yep. They do! Alright, that's really good to know. You do not need the Zora boomerangs exclusively unless the Dexy hand is underwater. Very good to know. Oh, I see. You actually have to get grabbed by this one to get those rupees. 1 second. Let me go through the loading zone and back out. It should respawn if I do that. Yeah, there it is. So let me just get grabbed by you real quick. That's kind of fun, honestly. You have to let an enemy pick you up. You didn't even do damage. Incredible. Take this as a parting gift. All right. See you another time, buddy. There you guys. If I have anything bad to say about the Upside Down Temple, it's that this guy's annoying. It's that, like, this room especially has just a lot of noise in it. It's really overwhelming, and the battle music never stops, and, you know, while you're trying to glide around, you hear all these enemies in the walls that don't need to be hearing because they don't matter to you, but, I mean, they only had so many ways of doing sound back in the day. I want to say this one. Yes, this one's the one to ride. So here's the small key. Take it up to this door in the corner to progress. To this core in the dorner, you know. I wasn't about to say that mistakenly, I just decided to say it for fun. Okay, and here we can see another red emblem. That is actually the iconic crest, I just want to point out real quick. Oh, well, interesting. I don't know how that isn't falling, but sure. So that implies that when this thing is right side up, because, you know, I might be crawling along the ceiling, but wait. No, physics do still work because the water drained out of that other room. Yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, you can temporarily switch it back to normal, though this will not convert the whole dungeon back to normal, in order to get across this. In this series of rooms. This series of rooms is really annoying to backtrack through, which lends to like another criticism I have with the dungeons in this game, is that as much as I love them, I love every single one of them, backtracking through them is the worst part by far. And anytime you have to do it is just the most horrible thing. You guys will replenish me on magic and arrows so that I can keep shooting that, which is very nice. I thank you dearly for your contributions to my adventure. Now, here we go. We have a block puzzle that involves the whole turning upside down mechanics. So you want to push that there, turn upside down. I didn't shoot the red thing, but whatever, it's fine. Then both you and the block will fall down, and then you have to push it further along. And you are trying to reach a hole at the end. I don't know if it's on this level or the other. It's on the upside down level. What am I saying? The normal level. It's actually like normal from our perspective now, but you know, it's still upside down, technically speaking. All right, let me dip. Got you. Okay, can't move any further, so let me just... Excuse me, out of my way. Thank you. Switch this around. The magic jar? I didn't know it did that. That's so funny. The enemies follow you as well. As you could probably surmise by the fact that that enemy just followed me. Okay, we probably want to push it to this side of the room. As that's the opposite. Yes, okay, there's the goal right there. You can see it on the right. So we're gonna need to push it down, push it one more, and then shoot the emblem. And if you're unsure about, like, you know, if it's safe to turn back over, if the block won't be stuck, you can look up at the ceiling and look at the patterns and, like, compare it to where the block is to see if the block's gonna be stuck wherever you are or not. Yeah. Here, though, it should be fine, so Flip it back over once more. It's a very long block puzzle, and once again, backtracking through these rooms is freaking pain because of it, but hopefully you'll never have to do that. Hopefully. You might have to if you're going for stray fairies, but hey, that might be why you're watching this series, so you can find where the stray fairies are. Except that, you know, watching a playthrough like this is very inconvenient for finding out, like, specific things like that. You're much better off just looking up stray fairy locations. The wiki page will tell you about that. Oh, right, you have to climb the block and climb up in there. Don't forget, you need to press A to climb up a block, but you do not need to press anything to climb up anything else. It's a weird rule. There we go. Can I grab that on my way? Okay. Okay, I can. I wasn't even meaning that. Oh, I was gonna say, let's look at the door designs, but 1 second. We have a new enemy. Or rather, this guy isn't a new enemy. We fought him last time. It's a Wizrobe. But yeah, we've seen these guys so many times by now. The game isn't even bothering to play boss music, which is really funny. He's not even a mid-boss. Look at how you've been demoted. Dethroned. Take some light arrows. Seems to take the same number of hits as ice arrows, so I'm actually going to switch over to those because they cost less magic, as I'm pretty sure. All right, that side of the arena has lava rocks falling from the lava in the ceiling, because this is the room with all the Armo statues we were in before. So what you want to do is hang out on this side and just shoot him from here. If you don't have arrows, but good luck. Okay, let me just do that. Saying arrows just now reminded me of the Expanse and Arrow Station, and how it was taken over by the zombies. It was a very cool moment. His pads just disappeared. Man, this Wizrobe was so forgettable, even the room wanted to forget all about him when he was done. That creates a new chest, which acts as a grapple point, as well as a stray fairy collectible. I will take it. Dual purpose. Spots there, I don't think they responded in the right side up version. Anyway, I do want to briefly take a look. I think this is a death pit also, because yeah, that's a death pit. Don't fall in there. That's another hazard in the arena. I do want to take a look at these doors. It's pretty cool. We have the red sun up above and the yellow sun down here. Like, this is the normal version, and this is the evil, bad version of whatever orientation you're currently in. I do like that door design. Down the upside-down staircase. Or I guess up. Now, interesting new enemies here. These guys, regular pose. It took us long enough to fight the regular versions of pose. And of course, you went invisible. Now, I think from there, you just want to wait for them to reappear and then shoot them. I heard people say that they disappear if you Z-target on them. I can't tell if that's actually the case or not. They do at least reappear eventually. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I think it's honestly best to ignore these guys. The one notable thing about killing them is that I think they do drop a postal. Yeah, they do. It's in the wall somewhere. You can't really see it from here, but it is there. Tattle's targeting it, though. It disappeared. All right, anyway, you can see we do need Deku Link here, so let's pull out the mask. There's more pose later in the room, so we might be able to see it in action. I don't think that the postals actually do anything. If I had to guess, you could probably sell them to the curiosity shop for, like, a pittance of rupees. Yeah, who cares, right? Oh, these guys are, like, over a death pit, so if you're actually wanting to collect these things, yeah, they're really, really obnoxious. So, pow, pow. Okay, then please remain on this platform. I should have guarded. I should guard. There we go. Okay, you're up here. Yes. No, come on! At least you're available now. And you're gonna drop your lantern into the void, aren't you? All right, come back this way. Can we see it? Fine, I won't show this then. Jeez. Okay. Let's get in the Deku Flower and move on already. So we can't go straight ahead, but Mother said no straight ahead. Please follow astray and be misled. As we all know, that's how the song goes. These guys are Darth Armos? Yeah, we're playing Star Wars now, a temple guard. Look at that red mark on its chest. What are we supposed to do with that? I wonder. Not ice. No, that's definitely not the answer. We need to shine the light of 1,000 suns onto it. Okay, stay still. Come on, stay still. No. There we go. Okay, you want to turn them upside down, walk towards them, then they should dive right into the ground and kill themselves. If they're upside down. I think that ordinarily that's like some kind of dive bomb attack. Can you show? Thank you. Yeah, they try to stamp your face in, and if you flip them upside down before they can, then they'll just die if they go for that attack. Pretty cool. They will explode though, so watch out. Yes, there's that. I'm gonna take them all out, so we don't need to worry about any of them. Come on. Okay, yeah, you see me, yep. Oh, come on! They will turn back to normal if you don't kill them fast enough, but... Yeah, there we go. That was pretty funny timing. That's 2 funny timings in a row. Or I guess not really. The other one wasn't really a funny timing, was it? Okay, let me... Why did you jump? Why did you jump? Whatever, it worked. Got a fiery chest here. Cool. Got a switch. What does this do? Okay, let's it freeze. So, I bet you can't guess what we gotta play. This is a blue switch after all. Only the gold ones are held down. Please stop making me play this. That moment when it's like a ghostly face hovering in front of Link's face looks so fucking creepy, man. Alright, you probably have a small key. We have both the map and the compass. Still not the boss key yet. We haven't found the second mini-boss. I'll have to look forward to that coming soon. And yes, I will complete this whole dungeon this episode. We probably won't do anything beyond this point in this cycle. I'll be saving the rest of this cycle for the video after, because I'm at almost an hour of recording time, so yeah. So that's everything that's over there. It's a small key. We will be needing that in the rooms ahead, so yeah, definitely worth your while to go grab that. Okay, well, we have, again, another divergent path, and another Igor up there. Can I kill you from down here? Actually, I think you totally can. Can't you? I think you can attack him from down here. For some reason, he activates and walks around the ceiling. The 3DS version doesn't do that, so it's probably a bug of some kind that the 3DS version decided to fix. Either way, yeah. He does activate, and you can actually kill him from down there, and that does enable a skip you can do, which is pretty cool. All right, you need to see me, sir. Thank you. Ah! You can't block a crusher. That makes enough sense, actually. You switch back to normal. You jingle back. Okay, that's some timing. Ooh, okay. There's a chest we can only get in the normal form because Link got knocked away after the cutscene ended. That was the best. Okay, can we actually hookshot to there from here? Tattle's showing us there. Look, can't you use the hookshot on that chest? This is like the one time the game tells you you can use hookshots on chests. Or the hookshot on chests. That's really funny. Anyway. We can use the hookshot on that chest, Tattle, but that leads us to a late part of the dungeon that we do not need to go to. Actually, we will need to go to there at some point soon. I sounded kind of vaguely obnoxious with that, actually. Actually, we will need to be going there soon. Okay, blew up 2 of them. That's what you want to do here in order to progress properly. Oh boy, it's about to be the final night. Yeah, that's, interesting. Interesting. Maybe I will have time to end this video on... Well, maybe I will have time to end this video a little while after. Because, you know, there won't be much time left in the cycle, so I guess it'll be fine. Maybe. I don't know, how far am I through the dungeon? Hard to really tell. Ah, okay. I do want to go this way first. Got 2 blue bubbles in the way. Get you out of here. I'll never understand why they only have green eyes in certain maps. Probably a rendering bug. Might even be an emulator issue, honestly. There we go. Finally, a spin attack worked for once in my life. I'll take all those refills. I have never fallen back down to my first row of hearts this entire video so far. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. One of the goofiest yet creepiest enemies I've ever seen, Gomez. One of the coolest mini-bosses in this game, if you ask me. There'll be no end to it if you can't get those bats away from it. Does that shed me light? That is genius. Where's the award for the person who wrote that? Yeah, so you have to use the light arrows to kill the bats, or you can have bats come at you. Okay, hold on. Let me just, there we go. Oh god. Okay, what you want to do? Light arrows, that'll swipe away the bats, you can hit his core in the center, and then he will retaliate with that attack. You just want to guard that. It's kind of like the Garo Master, and you'll be fine. Oh, that completely missed. Congratulations. Sir, why can't I hit you? Sir. There you go. Okay, there we go. You can dodge that. I personally prefer dodging it. It's really fun, I find. But, you know, it's up to you. Guarding it is way easier. There we go. Here we go again. Yeah, like just barely scraping out of the way there is so much fun. If you're out of magic, I think the pots will refill you, and there are other ways to fight him. I believe you can use Deku Nuts on him. It'll actually kill some of the bats surrounding him and open his core that way. Speaking of his core, it just popped on the ground into green particles, but I had enough magic to just use light arrows repeatedly. Speaking from experience, if you still don't have the Gilded Sword at this point in the game, these mid-bosses are the tankiest mother fluffers you will ever see. Like, this boss genuinely took me like 6 minutes to beat with the Kokiri sword. And the Gilded Sword is kind of a weird upgrade to get. Like, you have to do this race minigame, you have to get the Gilded Sword in one 3-day cycle. It's very strange, and that's why I didn't bother going for it in my first playthrough, because I just thought it would be bothersome. But no, I definitely recommend getting the Gilded Sword to make these late-game mid-bosses so much faster to kill. Here's the boss key. Don't really know where the boss door is. We could probably just check the map for that, though. Oh, wow, look, it's right up there at the top. Interesting. And here's the map, the upside-down version. I don't think it's any different from the right-side-up version, actually. I don't think they flipped the map horizontally at all. You should have enough magic to get that, unless you, like, don't know what to do if you miss a couple of attacks and, you know, miss a couple of light arrow shots, I guess, even though you're hard-pressed to do that at this point in the game. I mean, just Z-target and win. All right, I'm gonna use some magic on light arrows to get those out of my way because I am lazy. Okay, now we are actually in, like, the end game of this dungeon, so what I want to do... Well, I actually did want to play a song, so I guess that kind of works. What I want to do, Song of Soaring. So put me back at the very beginning. Now, you might think that I want to go back outside and revert the dungeon back to normal, which is possible, by the way. I've never been over that. You just shoot the emblem again. But actually, before I do that, I do want to hookshot up to this chest. Even though, like, you know, I want to get the dungeon right side up again so that I can actually open that chest. What I want to do is not only use the small key on this door, and also fight this Igor, but there is a very, very good reason for me to do this. You're gonna see. Okay, we blocked his attack with that. This one uses a laser attack. He just shoots in the center lane, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the same description. But yeah, this one does attack differently from the other one, it's worth noting. If you get close... Doesn't he do something else? Okay, he does bash the ground, similar to the first one. He just has an additional attack. I think you can just, yeah, you can shoot him with the light arrows, and then shoot the eye again to hit him immediately afterwards, and then he dies in 2 hits because he's he's not very good. If you kill this Igor, it unlocks a chest. Another key, perhaps? No. The chest is far too large for that. But we've already gotten the dungeon item, and we've already gotten the dungeon map and compass. So... what's this about? The Giant's Mask. Within this mask lies the might of a giant, but can you use its power anywhere? No. In fact, you can use its power in one place. You're about to see. There's a reason why we're getting this now. It's a bit of a random item to just be dropped on you out of nowhere, but I suppose I get it. They had bigger plans for it earlier in development, and then they ended up just kind of throwing it in there last second. If you kill the Igor from down there on that platform by shooting it with the bow, you will unlock this chest, and then you can actually reach this chest with the hook shot, skipping the need to open that door with the small key. I just thought I'd point that out. It's a way you can kind of skip in the later, some of the dungeon in the later half. The latter half, I guess. Okay, how's it going? Let me smackaroni this, because this spawns a chest on the ceiling. And I'm pretty sure you can only hit the switch in the upside-down version. I could be wrong about that, though. Anyway, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. Now we can exit, revert the dungeon back to right side up, and go around to collect these chests, because, as you probably guess, these chests contain our last stray fairies. There's 5 of them to get. Wow, that's a lot more than I thought, actually. Welcome back. Oh, the moon's getting close. It's the final night, so of course it is, but it's never fails to worry me. Interestingly, there's a magic bean patch here. I don't know what that does. I might come back to this in a future video, but we'll have to see. Anyway, we want to shoot that again. The crest looks really cool, both right side up and upside down. That's such a great freaking design for it. And then Link fell into the sky and was never seen again. Now we're fine. You will sadly have to repeat the whole getting across to the temple thing, but if you use the trick I have, you'll save yourself some time. Okay, our new chests are as follows. There's one in the main entryway, Just gonna clear out these enemies because they're annoying. And drop right down, grab it. This is the chest you hookshot to in order to reach the area that leads to the boss. Spoiler alert, it just does. All right, here's the next one in the flooded room. It's on top of this platform. Kick, and get it. Apparently there's an enemy really nearby. Next one's actually in the room right next door, so let's go grab it. Unfortunately, one of them necessitates backtracking through the... What was that? Oh, shoot, I missed that one. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back for that when it's upside down. No matter. That will only take a little bit of time. I don't have a lot of time left, but yeah, it's fine. Especially if I keep bonking my head like that. Come on, let's get a move on, Link. Okay, so I think this is all set for me to just... The hard thing about this room is you have to dolphin jump out of the water to make it on the platforms. Otherwise, it's too tall for Zora Link to climb up, so you have to get a running start. Go. There we go. Okay, yeah, the chest is still there. All I have to do is shoot this down with light arrows, and that chest will be mine. Thankfully, I do not have to activate the switch again. There you go. Oh my god, it's gonna hit the final hours while I'm fighting the boss of this temple. I have a feeling that's how things gonna go. This shit's gonna go down. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying before, the last chest that I have to get in this backtrack necessitates going back through the room with Deku Link flying over the lava. Man, getting Stray Fairy experience at Stone Tower Temple is not that great, honestly, if I may say so. Actually, can I hookshot over there? No, it's spawned a chest on the ground. I don't think you can get a hookshot angle to it. I'm gonna go the long way around. There might be a way to get there with a shortcut. Like, you might be able to dolphin jump over the fence. That would be awesome if you could, but there's a large part of me that doubts it, so I'm just gonna take the long way around. Hopefully you don't mind that, Majora's Mask speedrunners. This room, as well as the 100% Stray Fairy experiences I've already been over, is the only reason why Stone Tower Temple isn't my favorite dungeon in the game, because I think otherwise it would totally take that title. It's just the obnoxious need to backtrack to the right side up temple to get the freaking Stray Fairies all collected. This room, I think that's good. Please. Good. First try, okay. Yeah, and other things just make me not like this temple quite as much as I would otherwise. Okay, here's the chest. Find it and open it ASAP. Where is it? It's on the bottom. On the double. Go get it. And then while I'm here, let me make sure that you can't just get this in the regular orientation of the temple. That would be so funny if you could. I don't see any hookshot targets. I don't see any other way of getting inside that cage. Looks like no. So yeah, you do have to backtrack through it, and if you have backtracked to get the other chests, and you haven't spawned in this one yet, in the upside down version, you're in for quite a rude surprise. This should be the last time I ever have to play this song in this game, and I'll be very happy for that indeed. Back to upside down. We got one more Stray Fairy to get, and then it's on to the end. The end of our last temple. You know, we're ending on such a good note. I have to say, you know, people do tend to criticize Majora's Mask for not having as many dungeons as the other Zelda games, and it's true. There are only 4 dungeons, but these are 4 amazing dungeons, if you ask me. I love how, like, their main challenge is navigation and traversal, and they're also interesting to traverse as you go. Like, this one has you flipping the whole temple upside down. Snowhead Temple has you launching that big pillar in the center, rethinking how you get through the rooms as a result. Yes, okay, you just have to glide as Deku Link over to the thing. This was really easy to do, and I could have done it, and I didn't do it for some reason. But yeah, Great Bay Temple had to deal with the Whirlpool, and Woodfall Temple, as simple as it was a great introduction to the dungeons in this game. Like, it's simple enough to not really deter you, but it's not so overly easy that you're wondering what age group the game is made for, you know? But yeah, the worst part about them is probably, honestly, the navigation, even though that's also their main challenge, is navigation. But still, like, I have so much fun traversing them, figuring out all the puzzles. The puzzles are all great, and they feel so incredible to figure out correctly. Like, you feel so smart getting through these dungeons, and that's why I love them so much. They also have great music. And they're somewhat more original in concept than Ocarina of Time, which was like forest, fire, water, shadow, spirit. That one was cool, I guess, but these ones have very different locales than what you expect. I don't know if locale's the right word exactly, but I've heard it used in that situation, so yeah. These are 4 just really, really, really good dungeons. I think the game thinks it's daytime right now, judging by this lighting. Well, I am thinking of it. Why don't I have my first green potion? I probably won't need it. I'll probably be refilled with magic jars anyway on the way to the boss, but there it is. Yes, Tattle, I know that chest exists. While I'm on my way to the boss, I do want to talk a little bit about this Link, this incarnation of Link, the hero of time as he's known as, and kind of how tragic of a character he is. To explain this, basically none of this kid's efforts to save these 2 worlds were ever recognized officially. I mean, I think some people knew about him in Ocarina of Time. In fact, like, the Wind Waker establishes that some did, to the point that there was a whole custom-made in future cultures that boys who become, like, 10 years old wear the same outfit as he did. So that's pretty cool, but that's the most recognition the Hero of Time Link ever gets between Hyrule and Termina. Because at the end of Ocarina of Time, slight spoiler alert, I guess, hi Beamos, he gets sent back to the timeline where he's a kid despite having saved the world as an adult. So basically, everything that he did, the return of the sentient pots, okay, whatever. Okay, let me block you. Oh my god, you could just block their attacks with a shield. That is so much easier. But yeah, basically everything that Link did in Ocarina of Time gets undone at the end, and the way that he has to save the world in his own timeline is to warn Zelda that they should not open the door of time. Just don't. Stay out of there. That's no good. And as a result, the world was just kind of saved, and Link remained as an unsung hero. And even in Majora's Mask, I mean, we can, like, save the world in the end, and hopefully people recognize us for that, but this entire time, we've been turning the clock back to 0 and erasing everyone's memories of our existence. Despite being such an amazing little kid, going out on this grueling adventure, putting his life on the line for 2 entire worlds, nobody recognizes him for it. And in the end, I don't think his story ends very happily, unfortunately. Because in a future Zelda game, I think Twilight Princess, you fight something known as the Hero's Shade, who is supposed to be canonically Hero of Time Link. And the Hero's Shade is like basically a large Stalfos Knight. I don't know much more about it than that, but that is ultimately the fate of the Hero of Time Link. He becomes just another enemy, just like the very same he fought in Ocarina of Time. Anyway, with that very... I was gonna say bittersweet, but no, it's more like bitter note. Here's the boss door. Let's fight the last temple boss. Check it out. It's the Garo Master's Arena. That's pretty cool. Into the portal. Actually, it's giant masked insects because there's 2 of them. Don't you know anything about your game? All right, giant masked insect Twinmold. Just its head and tail aren't protected by its hard exoskeleton. So aim carefully. If only it were the same size as it. Think you can shoot it with bow? I don't have the bow on me right now, and I have a very glitchy effect on my screen. Don't worry about it. I did not mean to pull out a bomb. I think you can shoot them with the bow if I'm correct. Let me see. It's hard, but you definitely can hit that with... I'm surprised that only did 2 freaking damage. Oh, there is magic down here. Okay, I thought there wouldn't be magic. Interesting. Yeah, this is a little annoying. So, why don't we change plans? Let's become the same size as them. The Giant's Mask transforms you into Giant Link and can only be used in this battle. From there, your magic will slowly deplete while in this form, so use it wisely. Want to use it to bash their heads and tails in with the power of your giant sword. I think you can also destroy these ruins to refill on magic. I saw one drop before, so I'm pretty sure you can't. Ow, okay, how's it going? How's it going, sir? How's it going? Can't really target lock onto them, but you can at least spin attack. Can't do the magic attack because you're already consuming magic, and there's a kind of rule with that in this game where you can't really, you can't use 2 magic items at once. Here's the blue one. You can hit him in the face. Taking me down 1 heart so far. Listen to my footsteps. I do really love this form, but we'll talk more about this later. They're inside each other. What? What are you guys doing? Yeah, they don't have any attacks in this phase. They just kind of move around and hit you with contact damage, and then you hit them in the face and tail enough until they die. That's it for the red one. This is its death animation. They don't have a phase 2 of any kind. There go all the segments of tail. And then the head. Boom, he's eating the sand now. This is why I recommend having the green potion. In case the game refuses to give you any magic out of these, out of the rubble here, which it seems to be refusing to give no frame rate. Okay, never mind, here's more magic. I can't pick it up. Okay, yeah, this is why you want the green potion. Let me just do this. I think if you run out of magic, you can shoot their tails, but it's really hard to do. Okay, I need to ensmallify if I want to use that. We might not even need to, but yes. The green potion will refill your magic back to full so you can keep doing this. Can I actually get the magic for once? Maybe, okay, I think I need to ensmallify to get it. Yeah, I do. I just picked it up as I went. There we go. Put it back on. Become large once more. This is the only place where you can use the Giant's Mask. Everywhere else, it is not allowed. So have as much fun with it as you can. Now, I was trying to spin attack. Why can I never be cool in this game? It's because I'm not good at the controls of the N64 version. I'm much cooler on 3DS, I promise you. Hit the tail. My apologies for the cut right there. I'll explain after the fight's done. All I have to say is, do not go to the edges of this arena. Trust me on this. It sucks. Okay. You want to stay at the center, even if it's flying in the direction of the edges of the arena. You do not want to go there. Okay. Hitting it. Hitting it. They really don't have a lot of health, so it can't be too far away from being killed. Let me get some magic out of these things. Or I could, you know, just drink my freaking potion. You know, use the potion I brought along with me. Yeah, I think I will. I prefer doing that. I prefer actually using my equipment as opposed to just grabbing the magic already given to me. As if I need it. Come on. It's a little weird to me that you can't pick up the magic in Giant Link form. Seems a little dumb, but what do you know? Okay, slap the tail. Smack the tail, smack, smack. They're going in the edge. Do not follow it out there, like I just said. Again, I'll explain after. You'll notice the clock is a little earlier than it was before. Yeah, anyway. Oh god. Dope. Smackity. Nope, that's not right. For some reason, whenever you attack the rubble, the frame rate tanks. It's horrible. I'm not sure why. I guess just particle effects combined with the scale of this fight as is. There we go, there's your tail. The tail's way easier to hit than the head, I find, except for now when it isn't. Come on. You can roll to catch up with it. There we go. Got some hits. Let me just pick this up to make sure that I have magic. There we go. Thank you. Don't have to take very long breaks away from the fight, at least. It's no GOT in 3DS or anything. And that's that. I gotta be honest with you all. That fight kind of sucks. it just does. I'm sorry to any OG Twinmold fans, but that fight is... There's nothing to it. You just put on the Giant's Mask, you smack their tails until they die. The only real attacks they have is contact damage, which isn't really interesting. They don't shoot any projectiles. There's no phase 2. They die really quickly. If you're as defensed and healthed as I am, then there's no freaking way they're going to kill you. It's kind of interesting how you have to transform into the larger version and the whole arena shrinks. I think that's pretty cool, and you can even go and attack their corpses and see just how big they are. Like, I like the scale of the fight, I like the presentation, I like the Giant's Mask all around, but the fight itself is just nothing. You just hit their tails until they die. That's it. And I'm sinking. Let me stop sinking. How about that? I don't want to sink all the way through this, just in case something happens. So as I pick up my heart container, let me explain the weird cut and why time went backwards. Yeah, I traveled through time. Wow, there it is. 15 heart containers. That looks pretty cool. If you go too close to the edges of the arena, you will fall into a pit, void out, and be sent not back to the center platform, but back to the entrance of Stone Tower Temple. From there, you'd have to make your way all the way back in this fight and start it over from the beginning. Why they did this, I have no idea. That's one of the worst design decisions I've ever seen from this game, honestly. And that's exactly what happened to me. I forgot that the edges of the arena really aren't that far away when you're in Giant Link, and so I fell and got teleported back to the entrance. It was such an anticlimactic pause in the fight, on this super climactic fight of this amazing scale. I did not want to include it in the video, so what I did is I loaded my most recent save state so I could, not have all that in-game time spent, on getting back there. So that is why I ended up traveling backward in time and why my rupee count is lower and all that. So I hope you understand. I did not want to include that mistake in the video. I just want to talk about it at the end here, and that's why I wanted to say, do not go to the edges of the arena. Anyway, though, our prize is in front of us. The final giant is freed. That icon looks adorable. Well, we've helped all of you. That's all we can do. Call us. That's what they're saying. Without being told, we understand. So now, you'll help us out in exchange. We'll call you from atop the clock tower, so do something about him, alright? What? Their voices sound sad. You don't want to? Forgive your friend. Forgive our friend? What do you mean by forgive, huh? What friend? Welcome back once again to the realm of 3DS, and this time, oh boy, you are not prepared for just how different this boss is. In fact, I was going to show one difference before we even enter the boss chamber, but that would require me playing through the dungeon again, and I'm too lazy to do that at the moment. Either way, just take my word for it, once you kill the second Igor on the way to Twinmold's boss room, you will not get the Giant's Mask after killing it, unlike the N64 version. So right now, I'm supposed to not have the Giant's Mask. I technically do. It's right here in my inventory, but pretend I don't have it for the sake of demonstration. Let's go into the boss fight without it. They didn't bother correcting it to giant masked insects? That's very interesting. I wonder which one I'm supposed to aim for first. I can't possibly tell. So yeah, now, in this version of the fight, their heads and tails are no longer the weak spot. Though someone looks like an eye in the joints of its body. Try aiming for it carefully. Just like before, you want to aim for the eyes, and you also want to find a way to expose their eye weak points, as yes, they do have one. I did not realize the red guy was coming for me. The arena now flashes red. I think that's to indicate when the red guys... Yeah, oh my god! Oh my god, that's terrifying. Still only does half a heart of damage, though, so no big deal. I'm shooting light arrows at them. You probably don't need to. I just am, because I feel like it. I'm gonna get out of the way. They all have drop shadows? That's really funny. Yeah, look! This red guy's actually, like, attacking me while I have to take my shots. Already, this fight is a lot more interesting than it used to be. But just wait. Just wait. Things get even crazier from here. Alright, there goes you. This should reveal your eye weak point. Comes out of your mouth. You flew right through me. Okay, well, that's fine. Good thing I didn't take a hit from that. Then you just lock on and don't hit it somehow. 1 second. Let me put on regular arrows so I'm not using magic every single hit. There we go. 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 Can even hit with my own sword. Okay, I don't know where you're dropping fireballs all the way over there, sir, but whatever you feel like doing. I'm sorry, I will never insult your behavior again. Okay, I think we just want to repeat this. Yeah, I think the flashing red is supposed to indicate, like, one of them's doing something. Oh, watch out. Okay, here's blue one again. The blue one is the... Oh! This blue one is the only one we can attack right now, as I've said before. Where are your eyes now? Oh, you have 4 now. Nice upgrade. I think we can hit them all in a row right here. I got all but 1. And you're coming back for more. It might not be too unwise to bring the bunny hood into this battle. Okay. That should be the last one. Now you're stunned again. This time it'll be in real time as opposed to a cutscene. A lowly cutscene. We don't need those anymore. We can just do real time freaking game. Guys, I gotta fucking hit you. Come on. Show me your eye. Jeez. Okay, there goes the blue one. We still have 1 more to kill. The other one does not have any eyes on his body, so how are we supposed to attack it? Well, we'll see if the thingy happens. After it has to explode first. Wow, it's no longer large and ground. Okay, so at this point, if this is your first playthrough of the boss, a chest will appear at the center of this platform, and this chest has the Giant's Mask in it, so you have to get it during the fight after you take down the first one. Now, we can put on the Giant's Mask and go after the red one. And that's not the end of the differences, though. You're gonna see. Alright, we're gonna grow large. Giant Link is actually completely different. You no longer use the sword. Instead, you punch. And then from there, the red one uses a completely new set of attacks against you. There's also a roll move, just like before, but the roll is much more slow. And it's mainly used to get rid of these little minions. This is a brand new enemy, exclusive to the 3DS version, added in this boss battle. Tattle apparently has a thing for them. Mold babies. Well, that's very good creative. You can tell how long they spent coming up with that name. Okay, and then, oh god. Got knocked down. I actually don't have a fairy with me, so I hope that I don't die here. That would be very nice. So, your objective here is to pummel the red one down to the ground, and this can be really, really hard. With your, like, 3 punches here. I'll show the combo real quick. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. Rolled out of the way of that. Just crawling through the ground. We have to, like, wait for him to fly back and forth, and then try to punch him during that. Okay, here we go, here we go. This is the best chance we have. It's really hard to do, though, because your movement is so slow. Here we go. Landing hits, landing hits. There is a much easier way to stun him. It's Night of the First Day, fantastic. But this is like the main way that I know of in my first playthrough. And I recommend starting with this, and you're gonna see why. Okay, punch you. Of course, punch you as opposed to punching someone else. I missed it. I missed it, and if it goes back down, okay. I gotta start breaking this rubble, get some magic. I think, yes, you can actually pick up the magic while in giant form in this version. Where'd you go? Come on now. Okay, you're doing this. Awesome. Can also spawn in the mold babies during that time. Sometimes when it sticks its head out. Okay, it's not doing that. That's not doing that. That's lucky. I want to avoid the head, punch its side. Its tail is not a weak spot in this version. Okay, I think we can get it, though. Oh, God. Oh, God. Where are you going now? Okay. Yo, watch out for the fireballs as well. I'm landing so many hits on it, and it's still not getting stunned. There we go. Land enough hits on it, and it'll be stunned, and it'll reveal its eyeball weak point. And then from there... Or actually, no, it won't reveal the weak point. That's right. They changed this, too. You can grab onto its tail and swing it around a la Mario 64. There we go. This happens automatically. That's it. There's the eye weak point, and it got severely damaged from that. Now that I'm done doing the hard part, let me show you the much easier part. I saved it until now because it is limited, but if you, there is another way to stun the red guy. I am going to stay away from the edges of the arena. Thank you. Okay. There's another way to stun this guy. What you want to do, pick this up. These boulders. You can pick these up, and you can throw them at him. And that's an instant down. I recommend going for the punching first, because the punching is the hardest one to get, and I think you need to swing and slam him in the ground 3 times with, like, full-powered swings in order to beat him. So, here we go. Pound you. Should have one more, and there's, thankfully, one more boulder to make this part a lot easier. Once you use up these 2 boulders, I don't think you get any more back, so, yeah, watch out for that. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. You know, if he's spawning babies, he is shit. I don't know if I can attack him during then. Alright, I'm going to hope that they don't ruin this for me. Okay, good. They did not. I don't think the boulder's gonna despawn now. Flashing red, I think he's out again somewhere. Oh yeah, he's on his way. So yeah, it just indicates red guy's up to something. For some reason, it only looks like he spawns a few in at a time, but then they just keep fucking coming and I don't get it. They're really annoying, but once you realize you can roll over them, they become a lot less annoying. Take you out. I'm actually at 4 hearts out of 10. I have a maximum hearts of 10 in this playthrough. Come on! Why are there so many? You did not spawn that many. I saw you do it. And it was very disturbing, and I don't want to see it ever again. Still one more. There we go. Okay, he's out. Okay, this is our chance. Fuck you! I think you can also choke his head. I prefer going for the tail strategy because, yeah, you can choke his head here to deal the same amount of damage. I prefer the tail because it's just so fucking cool. Here we go. This should be it. If it's not, then oops. Yep, there we go. Alright, that's the battle. Now, let me give my thoughts on it real quick. I think, as a boss fight, it's a hell of a lot better than the original. This one gets the most hate out of all the boss changes, and I really don't get why. I can kind of understand gods, I can definitely understand Odawa, but this fight is, in my opinion, just improved, objectively. With that said, I do understand the kind of shock that came with having a fight be this different in this version. Oh yeah, by the way, if you take off the Giant's Mask while the mold babies are around, you will see for yourself that they actually, like, tower above normal-sized Link. It's pretty cool, the difference between the size scales. But anyway, yeah. Like, the original fight was pretty bland. But I think I will agree it did not need to be changed this much. Like, this is a straight-up full-on rework, an overhaul, a reimagining of the original. When I think all the original fight really needed was to give the two worms more attacks. That's really it. Like, take the fireball attack they gave to this guy, add it to the original fight, and it's already a lot better. And then maybe you could have the two worms work together to take you down, instead of having them both just kind of fly around and hope that they hit you, and that's their only strategy to fighting you. Like, I understand the kind of keeping the original vision mostly intact with slight improvements rather than completely swapping it out for something that looks unrecognizable. I can understand if people think that they went a little too far with this change, and I think I would agree. I don't think we needed a giant Link rework. I don't think we needed this fight to be so different in structure that the Giant's Mask was moved to the fight itself. I do think the original fight needed an improvement, but I don't think it needed quite this much. Finally, I think my only problem with the fight on its own, it's a little too long. Like, I've been recording this for 10 minutes. That was a 10-minute boss battle. A little too long, if you ask me. It does make sense considering that it's the fourth and final temple boss, but, you know, still, even the final boss doesn't take this long. So yeah, I think they overdid it with the health a bit, and this was a very challenging boss for me to get through in my first time for that reason. With that said, though, I personally like this boss a hell of a lot more than the original. I will never understand all the hate for it, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed these little 3DS diversions, because this is the last one I'm gonna do, probably? Let's go back to the N64 version to see what has happened to Icona after we've defeated Twinmold. I love the random orb of curse clearing that appears. Hi, there's a Gwei right in front of me. Alright, since we're so close to the end of the cycle, I figure I'm just gonna let the rest of the time play out. We're gonna get a couple of final things before we end this video, and then that'll be that, and we'll be on to a next cycle in the next video. Oh yeah, I will have to go deposit my rupees eventually, but first things first, I will not forget it this time. I will not save it for the subsequent video, I mean. Fairies Fountain. Let's turn in our stray fairies. Oh man, I'm excited about this. That's every single great fairy helped. Nice hair, that's really cool. It's like super blonde, also lemon. Oh, compassionate young one, I am the great fairy of kindness. Thank you for returning my broken and shattered body to normal. As thanks, I grant you the fairy's sword. Well, that was quick! You got the Great Fairy's Sword! Set it to see to use it! With black roses etched into it, the Great Fairy's Sword is the most powerful of all blades, and all because of those roses. Come see me whenever you are overcome by weariness. Oh, with this thing in my grasp, I will never be weary ever again. Not only does it have a pretty cool inventory sprite, but just look at the damn thing. It's so cool looking. This is Majora's Mask equivalent of the Bigoron sword from Ocarina of Time. In that, you know, it's double-handed, deals the most damage of any of the swords, and it's kind of like swung like a greatsword, and you can't use a shield while holding it because it's two-handed, like I said. This thing is so extremely powerful. This thing is so much fun to use, and I absolutely love it. It's also a lot easier to get in general than the Gilded Sword is. It's a little bit annoying since you have to get the Stray Fairies from Stone Tower Temple, but aside from that, it's fantastic. Alright, let me unslow down time as the cycle comes to an end. I'm gonna go real quick talk to Pamela and her father, see how they're holding up. Otherwise, I'm not sure if there's anywhere else I can go in this cycle. Yeah, there really isn't, so yeah. Unfortunately, there is one thing I should have done this cycle that I didn't do, but we'll have to get to that in the next episode. I'll have to, like, expend an entire 3-day cycle on this one thing. You're gonna see what this one thing is, this mysterious single thing. Oh man, those earthquakes be keeping timed as soon as I'm transitioning in the inventory or something, and then they don't get to play out, and it's freaking sucky. Okay, you say the same things. Honestly, there's not a lot of reaction to the moon crashing outside of town. Clocktown is mainly where it all is. Yeah, they don't say anything new, so yeah, I guess they're just gonna be chilling here for the next, how long do they have to live? Oh yeah, like 7 hours, you know. They get 7 hours of chill time left, and then there's nothing. Yeah, sadly, Icona doesn't go through any large transformation when the thing's done, but again, I get it. It's hard to do that, and this game was developed in 18 months, as I've been repeatedly saying, so yeah. Still though, I'm glad they did it for 2 areas. If nothing else, I would just love to see a game that does it all throughout. From start to finish, you see areas changing as you complete, like, the boss within them. That would be so cool. I wish that was done more in games. I'm revisiting the King's Chamber just to see if there's anything here. Doesn't seem like it. Alright, well, back to town with me. Oh, come on! The time has come once again for everyone to forget about us. For this final 6 hours, I'd like to talk to the North Clocktown Guard when he's currently trying to stop you from leaving Terminal. Let's see what he has to say. Wait just a moment. If you came to town with your parents, find them quickly and leave this place. Most everyone who believes the moon will fall has left town. The only ones left are those who don't believe the rumors or aren't aware of them. I want to tell everyone to evacuate, but I cannot leave my post. I can't believe this kid is so unaware of that thing in the sky. Like, you know, you'd think that the kids would be the first one to notice something like that, honestly. Kids tend to be pretty attentive. Look at the moon leave town before the evacuation notice is made. Buddy, like I've said before, it ain't gonna matter whether you leave town or not. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just how it is. With our Great Fairy Sword, I can show the... never mind. I failed to do it, but it does have a huge spin attack. It's really cool if you can actually pull it off. Oh, you actually can't charge it up. Okay. Or maybe that's just the button I have it equipped to, because I'm pressing a trigger to press that button right now. No, okay, you can't charge it up. You have to do the quick spin attack to get any use out of it. That said, though, the quick spin attack is fucking huge, and that's amazing. I love it. Okay, well... I was gonna, like, go around... I had the plan for this playthrough to go around and, like, talk to people as the final 6 hours occur, see what they have to say, but there's no one I can talk to at the moment, I don't think. Like, is this shop open? Yep, nope. All the shops are probably closed. The soldiers just say the same thing. The bomber kids are completely unaware of what's going on. Let me actually try talking to them again. I don't think I've done that in a while. Yeah, they're just concerned about me. They have no idea what's going on. That is really sad, honestly. Do the bombers have parents? Also, I don't know if I have the silver rupees yet on this file, or on this cycle, I mean. Anyway, my idea is to transform into Goron Link and talk to this guy. Anything new? All of you? Okay, no, it's just the same. Alright, well, I suppose then, in the final time we have left, I can tell you my plans for the future of this series. Now that all 4 temples are done, safely in our inventory, we freed the 4 giants, and at this point in the game, you can just waltz right up to the clock tower and play the oath to order to summon them whenever you like. However, because it's me, I'm gonna be waiting on that. There's a lot of optional side content that I have not done yet, and I would like to see all of that before we wrap up. And also, if I'm gonna be aiming to collect all the pieces of heart, I've got a lot more of those to go. Let me do the math here. So, I need 2 pieces of heart for the next heart. After that, I have 4 heart containers left. 4 times 4 is 16. I have 17 pieces of heart left to get. Holy shit, that's way more than I thought, but this game just has a fuck ton of pieces of heart. Anyway, yeah, that's my plans. Hope you enjoy them. Let me go deposit my rupees, and then we'll be off. Fucking love this moment. It's so well done, so well executed. This is why this game is so good. It's this moment right here. The final 6 hours, like the best moment in any Legend of Zelda game. Here's my 232 rupees. Keep a good eye on those for me, will ya? Alright. I'm sure you will. We'll keep such a good eye on them, it'll persist between timelines. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, it's time for us to begin Cycle of Side Questing Part 2. Yeah, we're not quite done with that yet. It's coming back. Thank you all for watching, if you did, and as always, I will see you all in the future.